What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by I don't know, both missing both my guys right now. Let's see what happened. Maybe everyone had too much fun on Christmas, but that's why I'm always asking you, like the video, share the chat with your friends, because you know what it means. When I run solo, I'm not going to not do a show, but I'm going to rely on the chat to really, spark that kind of conversation that Tyler and JC would provide. So I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, and let's do this. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts too. So what I'm going to do is, because maybe these guys will show up, right? Eggnog, all that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and review yesterday's games first. And then, I'll break down tonight's. I've already done the playbook for the Run Pure members. I've already done my score projections. I already know some plays that I like. So I'd love to hear what you guys think, of course. So what's up to the chat? Hopefully my guys start rolling in here. But let's, this is what I always say. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get some lively discussion going on. The first game started our morning off, 9 a.m. for me, noon for you guys. I mean, first of all, it's ridiculous how this Christmas Day schedule goes, because that Nuggets Suns game was excellent. And maybe you guys are cool. Maybe people stayed up on the East Coast and watched it. I saw people tweeting about it, but it all seemed like it was my guys, the West Coast guys. They're doing their guys a disservice. That was a really good game. And Aaron Gordon's dunk was the play of the day. And probably 20% of the people who watched this first game saw it. So let's go NBA. 7:30, a little bit too late there on a holiday. I understand what you guys are trying to do, but nah. I mean, West Coast games should probably start a little earlier, because this is what happens. Guys like Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, they're not recognized by the national media because the national media is all asleep. And I can't blame them. I'm an old guy. I have problems staying up late too. That was late for me, staying up till 10:30, 10:45. So that was, I'd say, my main takeaway from yesterday is that Nuggets game started too late. I know they want to have 5 games, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I see my guy Mark Harris in the chat. What's up? Happy holidays. I had an enjoyable one. I had a relaxing one, and I watched these games. But first, let's talk about the 76ers and the Knicks. And this one was an interesting one for me. I didn't have a play on the game. So if you guys saw the playbook, you saw that I had an edge to the over. But Christmas Day unders have just been a thing for a while. So I was like, I don't really want to play an over there. I don't want to play an over. It was a low total. And the game did go over by, let's see, it was 227. No, 237. The game went over by 20 points. We also had an edge to the Sixers there. So probably should have trusted myself a little more. Probably overthought it. But what did you guys think? I thought it was fun. The best thing about Christmas Day is I can actually listen to people preview games and possible stylistic matchups on the podcast and stuff. It's not just, we wake up, we run numbers, we review the injury report, we grab a couple trends, and we start breaking down the game. I mean, we get much more in-depth breakdowns. I like that. That's why I'm always a big proponent of shortening the schedule. I would like to have more build-up in between these games, and it was nice to see a pretty clean injury report for most of these teams. Now let's look at the box score here. Joel Embiid had 35 points and 8 rebounds in the win. Julius Randle, not to be done, also had 35 and 8. So this was a fun one there. James Harden was dishing out assists left and right. Yeah. I know I should have just done it, and I should have just played the Sixers too. It just felt like an easy bet. So hey, but I don't want to load up that stuff too much. If I have edges on too many games, but with all the work we put into Christmas, I probably should have put a couple more plays there on the sheet. But it was a great game. The over, sometimes you got to trust your projections. I've been telling Tyler that sometimes we overthink these things. Overall takeaway, I mean, of course, we're talking about non-basketball things. It's ridiculous that the pregame show is talking about Harden going back to Houston. Is that the only thing these guys know how to talk about? Does anyone actually watch a game and break down a game? So I was disappointed in the national media for that. But when you're actually looking at this game, it was really interesting because the Knicks are better on the wing. But the 76ers have that just traditional two-man game. You have the ball handler and the big, and Embiid was just too much. And what happened here with the Knicks, I mean, they really got to go back to what their identity is, and that's defense. And I know that RJ Barrett's developing, and I'm really excited about his development. And it also shows why these guys come into the league too young, because he's really becoming the player he's trying to be in year 3 or 4. I mean, this will never happen, but I'm an old guy. I would love for these guys to go back to playing 3 years in college before coming in. With the NIL, they're going to be getting paid. I mean, you got to take care of your family. You're going to be able to take care of your family at Duke now. You're going to be able to take care of your family at Florida State or Arizona State or USC or UCLA. Let's do what the NFL did. Bring these guys in at 20, 21. And I understand that the NFL is a safety deal because you don't want an 18-year-old get tackled by Aaron Donald, right? And this will never happen. But for the betterment of the product, I would love these guys to have more seasoning and less wear and tear on their body. College is 30 to 40 games compared to 82. Now, who actually plays 82? But you understand my point. So overall, great game. The Sixers, the home court advantage matters. Sixers improve to 20-12. That was a pretty big win here for Philadelphia, who's quietly, right? Because there's a couple win streaks here now in the East. They've kind of gone under the radar because we love the Bucks and we love the Celtics, and I'll be talking about that game as well. But 2 games on big winning streaks, teams, the 76ers and, of course, the Brooklyn Nets, who we'll talk about when we're breaking these things down. So now I'm looking at the Eastern Conference standings. That's the Atlantic. Come on, give me the conference standing. Who looks at division standings? Come on, this isn't the NFL. Who do I got here? Oh, Tyler jumping in. What's up, bud?
What's up, Spread?
I was going to go solo here, but you can help me break down these games.
I thought you had our guy JC. I woke up.
Yeah, I thought I did too. He must have really been enjoying the eggnog.
See you by yourself. I was like, I'll get on there.
Well, thanks. We appreciate it. The stream does too. The chat does too. I was basically just talking about the 76ers, how they put together a nice winning streak here now. And I was trying to find where they are in the standings. They're right behind Brooklyn at 20-12. I got to switch to conference standings here real quick. So they're sitting at 5th, right? But they're only 3 games out of 1st. And that gave them a significant edge over New York, who's now at 6th, 3 games behind. So, right, we talked about the top 3 teams in the East last week, right?
Yeah.
Probably should have amended it. You told me to add Brooklyn. I think we should add Philadelphia to this list as well. Now, I know this team is much better at home, and I don't really consider the Knicks a contender, so I don't want to overrate this win. But let's look at the last 7 games total, see how well this team's been playing. And they're also going to have an interesting idea when Tyrese Maxey comes back. The team's been playing really well with D'Anthony Melton in the lineup. Do you make Maxey like a Tyler Hero? He doesn't do it this year, but a Jordan Clarkson top guy off the bench, or do you kind of mess with the chemistry? Talk to me about the Knicks and 76ers. What were your thoughts on last night's game?
Yeah, I think that they should definitely let him go or move him to the bench. I read news from the NFL. Somebody got fired. That's why the let go part got dropped.
Who got fired?
Hackett. I mean,
because it's his fault that Russ is like, okay. We'll talk about that in an hour on Talking Touchdowns here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. All right, go ahead.
But I like the idea of moving Maxey off the bench. Keep Melton, the veteran, in the starting lineup. They look good like that, and it gives you the punch off the bench where they haven't had a punch off the bench in forever.
Yeah.
That'll really help this team out, but I don't think they do it. I think they get all their good guys into the starting lineup and just try and run it there.
All right. Yeah, any other all takeaways from the game? I mean, I should have bet it because it pretty much went how we expected. The game went over. The Sixers won. I played it safe. We won't talk about that anymore. But really, right, it's just a 2-man game, and just having the 2 better stars, I thought was too much. Embiid was clearly the best player on the floor, even though Julius Randle's had similar statistics, and James Harden was the best guard or playmaker on the floor.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, those 2 were definitely the best guys on the floor. They dominated the game. Randle looked good, but nobody could guard Embiid. Mitchell Robinson tried. He's half the size of him. And they just, in the end, they were able to take the game and dominate it in the 4th quarter. And it was more of Harden just dishing the ball around in that 4th quarter. Everyone was hot. So, and they got the job done. They took the win away from the Knicks.
I mean, it's hard to stop Embiid. If you're going to beat the 76ers, you're going to have to outscore them. And I just don't believe the Knicks have the firepower to do that. Now, we'll see. Home court means so much in the NBA. if they run this back in New York, I wouldn't be surprised if we take New York, right? But, at home, Sixers too much for the Knicks. The NBA gave us a Christmas present, right? Or at least as Hater Kings fans, as we once again got to watch the most overrated team in America. If you want to know why everyone in the West Coast just gets annoyed with the Lakers, it's because there's no merit to what they do, right? Like they weren't a good organization. They just get LeBron James because he wants to be a movie star. And then they get Anthony Davis because he'll do whatever Clutch tells him, right? So it's not like they improved their teams and made themselves an attractive destination. They're based in Hollywood, and then we have to watch them when there's no merit. All these other teams that were on Christmas Day, right? Golden State Warriors, you can argue as well, but at least they're coming off an NBA championship, right? Every other team deserved to be showcased except for that was in New York yesterday.
No, it was in the Garden.
Oh, I'm so stupid. It was a long day, guys. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting me, Diesel. That really just shows you how much more the 76ers are better than the Knicks. Back to this Lakers team, though. I mean, it's just like, who wants to watch this crap? Yeah, unless you're just me and you're being a hater. But come on, I'm trying to be less of a hater. Just take them off national TV, right? We don't need to see that. And what pissed me off is that we didn't get the under. I went out for a nice little hike during that game because, like, as much as I want to hate on the Lakers, it was like pretty much already knew what was going to happen there. Mavericks were going to kick their butts, and I thought the game would be over. I checked the score. It's 91-71, which is 162 at the end of the third. I'm like, oh, this is going to cruise under for sure. Don't make me play unders in Lakers games anymore, Tyler. I mean, LeBron is really just old-ass LaMelo Ball at this point, right? Because all he does is score, but his defense, like, he doesn't even try.
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying on defense. But, again, a guy like that, I don't expect him to try on defense at this point in the year.
Well, that's why they're losing.
Yeah.
Their team leader doesn't defend.
I mean, there's not really good pieces around him, and I think
it's just like if you go to work, right, and your foreman or the main guy on your wall is just your area is just screwing around. Why would you work hard? The leader's screwing around. Why wouldn't I screw around?
All right, but what if you had that same area for 20 years, and 10 years ago you had a bunch of workers that were very good, and you gave your full effort, and you guys were the best unit in the entire thing. And then they give you a bunch of clowns that just can't do anything, and a guy.
Or you requested a bunch and you traded away all the guys that helped you.
He got the piece of glass he wanted, won, and now the piece of glass is broken, and now you got a bunch of clowns running around. You gonna give full effort while them guys?
The real problem was the Westbrook trade.
Yeah, but
you gave up KCP, Harrell, and KCP helps that Nuggets team so much. So, anyways, I thought that game sucked. I thought that team sucked, and I was pissed it didn't go under. And we were totally on pace. I should have swept that game. But the Mavericks got home. The Lakers still stink, and we'll see what's going on with Anthony Davis when he'll come back. Then what I was hoping to be the game of the day wasn't, because the Boston Celtics put it to my Milwaukee Bucks, Tyler. Very disappointed. When the line moved to 6, I was so excited. I thought this was going to be a close game. I thought it was going to have like a playoff atmosphere. And the Celtics, man, what a great performance. What a great team there. And the Bucks giving up 139 was not something I expected. Another game goes over, so maybe we can throw that Christmas Day unders thing out the window, right? Because now we're 3-0 so far to the over watching these games. But Tyler, I know you're not as high on the Bucks as I am, and you love those Celtics. You must have enjoyed watching that one. What did you take away from watching the Celtics just manhandle the Bucks?
Yeah, I actually didn't get to watch much of this game. So that's when I was driving.
Oh, okay.
Family members, but catching the score, I mean, it looked like Jaylen Brown dominated the game. Didn't look like it looked like Giannis had a decent game, but nobody else in the Bucks really did much. So can't really give a take on it. Didn't watch much of it.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, my takeaway was just that if the Bucks can't defend, they're not going to be able to outscore you. The Bucks game plan and success is predicated on defense and rebounding. And hey, let's give credit to the Celtics because their offense is just that good. They were hitting some tough shots. Nobody's going to guard Tatum. It's not like I said, that was a terrible defensive effort as he's bearing another jumper or Jaylen Brown's getting to the rim once again. But I felt like the Celtics took the Bucks away from their identity. They got him into a shootout, and the Bucks aren't going to win that type of shootout. The Bucks really needed to slog that game down. And I felt that. And the other thing is, right, it was like I just felt the Celtics were getting the Bucks to do what they wanted to do. Giannis kept taking open threes. He's not shooting well from three right now. I think, the announcer, I was on the radio at this point, but it was 21. He was 21 to 82 in his last 82 three-point attempts. So they got him to do a shot that, I know he wants to take, and credit to him, right? He's not like Ben Simmons afraid to shoot it. But it just felt like the Celtics completely imposed their will and made the game the style of the game that they wanted to see. Boy, Tyler, so, I wanted to play unders yesterday. I had the under in this one. Boy, was I lucky, because this thing was on pace to fly over in the first quarter, on pace to go under at half. They had another huge third quarter. And then I'm watching at the end. The Warriors are up by 15 and John Morant's still in there. And I'm thinking this is not good because of the pace, right? Because Ja's going to get up and down the floor and he's going to get those shot clocks up. Fortunately, they missed everything in the last couple minutes. And I ended up getting my under here. So that was pretty lucky. Lean to the Warriors. I should have made that an RPB one as well. This team really came out and they showed some heart. And we talked about home road splits. They proved it. Even without Steph, this is a much better team at home. I don't know what to make of the Warriors here without Steph. Now, remember, a lot of these games have been on the road. They're on like a 6 or 7 game homestand right now. Let's see if they can go on a little run without him. That would definitely help them gain some momentum. James Wiseman played well. James Wiseman played well in that game. Draymond Green stuffed the stat sheet everywhere except for the points. I don't know what he finished with, but at one point I saw he had like 2 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and like 3 blocks and a steal or something, right? He was everywhere on the court, being his normal, annoying self. I mean, he's the ultimate prototypical guy. You only root for him when you have money on him. Otherwise, he's really annoying. And I don't know. It just felt like the Grizzlies also got away from some of what they do. The Warriors made it a shootout. And at home, you're not going to beat them in a shootout because DiVincenzo's dropping buckets, right? The pool looks great. The role players were really helping out. So do we even downgrade Memphis at all? I know people were trying to make a big deal out of this, right? Because Memphis talks all this crap to the Warriors, and this is a budding rivalry, and they lose without Steph. I didn't really think it was that big a deal. What did you think?
Yeah, I don't put much into that. And I wasn't able to catch much of this game either, or the next one. I was too busy sweating Showdown in the NFL at the end of the night. And it's just this Warriors team.
You were watching that NFL game?
I mean, when you're 3 points out of first, I can care less for these NBA games.
Oh, in your DFS?
Yeah.
What'd you end up getting?
You won a couple $100.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. I was the opposite. And I just used the cores too. I didn't even time.
My NBA was dead because my last guy was Devin Booker, thinking he was going to do something, and the dude played 4 minutes. And
that was rough. I didn't have Booker, so I cashed an NBA, but not an NFL. All right. Okay, so you didn't see much from that game.
It's just the Warriors are just a thorn in my ass too. I mean, they win games when you could literally line everything up against them and somehow they'll win the game. And that was yesterday. Yeah, you would think the Grizzlies would be super motivated to come in, punch them in the mouth, get the game. They have the advantages, and what happens? They lose.
It's just one of those things, though. And if you're going to make 3-point shots, because you're going to be able to get 3-point shots in the NBA, because these guys are too athletic, they're going to beat their man off the dribble, and someone's going to end up being wide open. It doesn't matter how solid your rotations are. I didn't think that they were playing that bad. It's just if you're going to bury all those open threes and your role players, like DiVincenzo and guys like that are just going to hit shots left and right. There's just not a lot you can do. Draymond was fully focused. We know, talk about the epitome of being a guy that doesn't care about the regular season, right? He played like a playoff game. And the little baby Warriors were good. I thought Wiseman played well. Kuminga was solid. Moody, you didn't really notice him out there on the offensive end, but you didn't notice him on the defensive end, which is good because they're going to need Moody to be a nice athletic defender in that bench role if he's really going to help out this team. So overall, good for the Warriors. What's up to my guy Parabay? Hit the like button. We're here. We're doing an NBA rundown. And Tyler, you didn't see the last game, but it was the best game of the day, I thought. It was so much fun. Tell me you saw the highlight of Aaron Gordon.
Did the dunk even count?
Yeah, they tried to call a charge and then they called it off. Dude,
Oh,
that's so
okay.
stupid.
I
The
was saying,
whole idea of a
in all the
charge is
highlights on
stupid.
Twitter, I just watched the ref point the other direction. I'm like, is this dumb to even
But no,
count?
they overturned it. Thank God, because that would have pissed me off. So we had the Nuggets -3 on the RPB sheet. We should have covered. We missed 3 of the last 4 free throws. That was rough. Aaron Gordon hits the dunk and then misses 2 or 3 free throws right after that. But whatever. I'll take the push. It was a fun game. It's so funny. I'm like, because I was going to go to bed earlier. I'm like, I stayed up to watch a push, like unbelievable. But the dunk made it worth it. My main takeaways from that game: Aaron Gordon and KCP are the type of guys that you're going to need to win playoff games. I love what KCP does on the floor. I know everyone loves Michael Porter Jr., and I know he gets way more money, but he was out there hurting the team, and KCP was helping the team. KCP's always defending the best. Porter Jr. is getting lost on defense all the time. They're trying to switch against Porter Jr. to work against him. KCP is always taking Chris Paul. I felt confident every time he was throwing up a shot. And he wasn't forcing stuff from 3. If they gave him the mid-range, he was going in there. KCP looked really good for this team. Bruce Brown also could have dunked with 1 second to go to give us the cover, but didn't. Yeah, that's what happens when you lay the spreads in these NBA games. So you missed that game. My takeaways are DeAndre Ayton shows why a big man is like a wide receiver, depending on their quarterback. Because when he's got Chris Paul at point guard, he looks so much better. He can really get lost in the shuffle when it's just Booker and Ayton, although their pick and roll is getting a little better. But Chris Paul makes them look so good. And I really give credit to Chris Paul from that. Chris Paul not looking as quick, though, as he used to when he tried to take over the game at the end, because the Suns had a lead. And last year during the regular season, at these points, Chris Paul he had a full 44 minutes of watching the opposing team's defense. He would pick out a matchup he liked. He'd get a nice mid-range and he'd bury it. He doesn't look like he has the quickness right now to do that. We'll see if he comes back. I kind of think it's a product of age. The dude's 38 years old. You're not supposed to be 38 playing point guard in the NBA. I mean, so that's going to be an issue for this team. And Landry Shamet, unbelievable. You had Landry Shamet and who was the other super reserve? Damian Lee really kept the Suns in this game. But if they're going to get contributions like that, you got to give credit to Monty Williams for, number one, giving them some slack to go ahead and ride the hot hand, and those guys for burying the shots. So good win for Denver. Yeah, you're glad you didn't watch it. Your guy Jokic was MVP like last night. Did you see his number, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean 41, 15, and 15.
Yeah, no, you're gonna poo-bah that, right? That's not a big deal.
Took overtime.
I knew it. All right, let's get into today's.
It took overtime, and the other team didn't have their best player. Come on, now you got to win that game.
What's Devin Booker gonna do?
Score 35 points and win the game for Phoenix.
Yeah, Jokic would have had even more. All right, let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, who are +2 in Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers. Total of 220. Tyler, 2 of the hottest teams in the NBA face off. Now, last week, I was wrong. You guys were right on the Raptors. I even messaged you and Travis, and I said, good call on the Raptors game. I was right in the Cleveland Cavaliers on their 5-game winning streak. Now they've had it snap. The Brooklyn Nets come in on an 8-game winning streak. If they win tonight, they'll match the Boston Celtics for the longest win streak of the season. This should be a really fun game. Of course, Brooklyn took Cleveland out last year in that playing game. Brooklyn also 12-1 in their last 13 against Cleveland. But guess what, Tyler? We might as well throw that out because that team didn't have Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I can quote all these 5-year trends all we want. But when it comes down to it, this is a different Cleveland team this year. I want to throw those out. I'll use my projections built off this year's numbers. And that's what I'm going to handicap this game with. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'll probably be on Cleveland here. I think they come out, they get that win. They get a beat up on this team that they haven't got the beat up on yet, that took them out of the play-in. Now they have the advantage down low. KD could just nuke this team because there's nobody really to guard him. Mm-hmm. But I think Mobley can cut him off in the mid-range, keep him away from the hoop a little bit. I kind of like this Mitchell over 3.5 threes at even money and the 5+ threes and win at +440. I think those are some other ways you can get on this game, but I do think the Cavs win this game pretty easily.
Interesting. Okay, so you're on the Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving back in Cleveland. Revenge. Do we go over on his prop? What do you think? I like the over there.
Yeah, I don't hate the over on his. What is his number?
I think it's 24.5. Okay.
Yeah, I like the over there.
Here's my idea, right? Cleveland shuts you down with those two twin towers, but Kyrie's got a great mid range, and he's not going to go ahead. I mean, he can finish to those guys if he really needs to, but a lot of times he's just going to beat Mitchell, beat Garland, beat whoever, LeVert, right, and then just get a wide open mid range right around that free throw line in that range and just bury it. So it seems to me that's a great way to attack Cleveland, and that's why I think Brooklyn matches up so well against this team, is because they're not reliant on layups. KD and Kyrie in that mid-range is almost as good as a normal team at the rim, right? I mean, you get those guys over mid-range and they're just going to completely bury them. So I don't know. I haven't joined you there tonight on the Nets. They've been playing so well. I think this is a great game, but you like the Cavaliers. Any thoughts on the total?
A small lean to the under, but everything's going over, so I can't click on an under.
I know, huh? What do my projections have it out? Well, at least I got it going over. Okay. So, yeah, maybe we'll play the over. We'll talk about this. We'll put the official RPB tags on the NBA Bets Playbook, available on runpuresports.com. Head over to the bet section. Use the NBA Playbook if you are a member. If you're not a member, what are you doing? Come join the team. Start winning. Get all the winners. Jump in the Discord and take advantage of the best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. runpuresports.com. Los Angeles Clippers -6 in Detroit, taking on the Pistons. Total of 224. Tyler, my projections like the Pistons. My brain says, heck no, I'm not betting the Pistons here. Although we do like the Pistons at home. It's got up to 6. When I ran the numbers, it was 5.5 this morning. I don't like the plus 5.5s. I don't like the plus 5s. Maybe it gets to 6.5. Let's say it does get to 6.5. Do you think I could reasonably take the Pistons?
I'm not taking the Pistons here. I'll be on the Clippers.
Yeah, screw that, huh?
I'm not laying the 6, though. This Paul George 4+3s and win at +300 seems pretty nice. I'm pulling up his game log now. Mm-hmm. I mean, the dude just chucks a ton of threes. There's no real matchup for him on the other side against Detroit. Like, who are they going to put on him? Bogdanovich, Ivy. Like, there really isn't a guy to guard him. He's a bigger wing. He's hit 3, 4, 2, 2, 5, 5 threes in his last couple games. He shot 10, 10, 7, 5, 12, and 11. So, yeah, I'm going to take that 4+3s, and they win at +300 in this one.
All right. So you like Paul George. The total here is 224. You know, let me get rid of this tab here. It'll be easier for me to go back and forth. I got it at 225. Okay, so no edge there on the total. You like Paul George threes. If I had to take a stand on the side, I would take the +6, but I'm fine staying away from that. You think that's kind of high, but everything's been going over, Rance. That's why these numbers keep going up, but we'll see. Unders have been scary these last 2 weeks. I haven't pulled them up, Tyler, but the unders in the last 2 weeks have just been all right. Minnesota Timberwolves are +1 in Miami, taking on the Heat. Total 221. Tyler, this opened at 4.5 last night. People are running to bet the Minnesota Timberwolves. I would say all the value is gone now. Bam Adebayo's out. Jimmy Butler's questionable. Dwayne Dedmon's out. I'm not even going to mention you, Donis Haslam. Well, I just kind of did, but you understand my point. Caleb Martin, probable. Gabe Vincent, questionable. Kyle Anderson, questionable. Jordan McLaughlin and Taurean Prince out. So, once again, we have a Miami injury report littered with Q tags. No Bam Adebayo. Timberwolves have been playing better since Cat left the lineup. More like a traditional NBA team, the way that they're, I should say traditional, but modern NBA team. 1 rim protector, 3 wings, and a point guard. What do you think here? Without Adebayo and Dedmon in the lineup, how does Gobert fare? How do these Timberwolves fare in Miami?
I mean, he should absolutely dominate the paint, but it's also Rudy Gobert we're talking about. I don't think he dominates any games.
So, he gets like 20 rebounds every once in a while.
Yeah, 20 rebounds, 3 points, so he can't really do much there. I'm probably not going to bet this game just with all the news on the Miami side. I mean, there's just so many guys questionable, key guys too. Minnesota's just been hit or miss. Maybe an Ant performance double coming in, but that's probably it for me. I'm probably just going to stay away from this one.
The eggnog had him down in the early rounds, but he's back up. He's ready to fight. JC, how you doing today? We can't hear you, JC. Get that mic going. You're muted.
Yeah, my apologies, guys. Overslept a little bit. Had
That's
a bit of a
fine.
shit moment, but
We
yeah,
understand.
I'm ready to rock.
All right. We'll catch up real quick. Just any general thoughts or huge takeaways or hot takes from yesterday's games?
No, I mean Grizzlies definitely disappointing. The way Memphis has been rolling, expected more from them. Nothing else really blew me away. James had a great performance as he does on Christmas, but nothing too much.
The Aaron Gordon dunk didn't blow you away, or were you asleep for that?
I did not see that. I did not see that.
So stupid they had start that game so late.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're done with that. Nets, we did Nets, Cavaliers, Clippers, Pistons already. Did you have any plays on either of those that you want to give out real quick, or you want to just
I mean, I'm rolling with the Clippers, especially in Detroit.
Clippers University, huh?
Oh yeah, especially being in Detroit, like it's not too much of a homer pick there, right? Obviously, just easy money there.
Okay, so you like the Clippers there, and right now we're talking about the Timberwolves and the Heat. Heat are missing Bam Adebayo and Dwayne Dedmon. Do you think the Timberwolves will be able to take advantage? This line was plus 4.5. Now it's down to plus 1. People are loving the Timberwolves betting, and of course the information. Are you getting involved in this game with the total of 221?
Yeah, I don't know about the over/under. I love the Timberwolves here. I was kind of fading them the first half of the season. Lost a lot of money on it, so they're a team that I am backing for sure. As you said, Miami, tons of injuries. We all know that. So, yeah, give me the Timberwolves here.
All right. You are with everyone else and just trying to fade this Heat team. We're not worried about a little time spent in Miami here for the Timberwolves. I wonder, you slept late today. Do you think some of these guys might be missing shoot around after a night in Miami?
I can't imagine there's too much action going on Christmas in Miami. So
my guess is if you're one of those guys, though, I mean, like you got the Instagram, like, oh, what does it take? It's like DoorDash nowadays for your generation. Well, I don't know how old you are, but Tyler's got it easy. We had to like go out, have conversations, buy drinks. I mean, it's seriously like DoorDash now. Swipe, message. Oh, look, my doorbell's ringing. Like, unbelievable.
Hopefully that efficiency led to a great night, but a quick night, and they got plenty of
okay. There you go. All right. So he likes the Timberwolves. The Houston Rockets are plus 7.5 in Chicago, taking on the Bulls. Rockets have lost 5 games in a row. Most recently, they lost to Dallas 112-106. That was on Friday night. Mm-hmm. My projections like the Bulls here, but the Bulls haven't been there very good lately as well. Although they did get a nice win, I believe. Who was that over Atlanta? 110-108. Was that their last game? We're going on top of my head here. I don't have everything set up. But regardless, Bulls haven't been playing that well. Are they a good enough team to be laying 7.5 to anyone, Tyler? But if it is anyone, the Houston Rockets are kind of a good anomaly of anyone because this team has not been playing well.
Yeah, definitely not laying 7.5 with the Bulls. I do think they win, though. Vucevic should just absolutely be able to get whatever he wants in the paint, score the 10 points, get the 10 rebounds. That double-double and win at plus 130, I think is a nice way to get on the Bulls. I like the Jalen Green props also over 21.5 points. That seems a bit low. He's been scoring pretty well. And I think that's going to be my only 2 bets from this game. I mean, they moved Jabari Smith down to 1.5 threes, minus 180. Can't do much with that. If it was plus 2.5, plus 130, I'd be on it. So probably just those 2 bets for me in this game. Green over his points and then Vucevic double-double.
All right, what do you think, JC?
Yeah, it's not a bad play at all. Definitely a tough spot here. Both teams extremely inconsistent. I mean, Rockets obviously not good, but they've been known to cover a time or two. I would definitely lean Bulls here for sure, and I probably will catch one of Tyler's plays. Those are solid.
All right. Yeah, I like Vucevic over here. The Rockets simply don't have a center. And, I love my guy Şengün, right, Tyler? But he might be worse on defense than your guy, Jalen Green.
Yeah, those
we picked 2 guys that only play one side of the ball.
How about the rumors coming out that Harden wants to go back after this year?
Okay, I did that at the top of the show. First of all, it shows you what a joke this NBA regular season is, that the lead story on a day with 5 games is a stupid trade rumor for next year. I swear this league cares more about transactions and next year than the actual action. Look at the NFL, man. They make the Bucks and the Cardinals actually seem like it meant something. Right? I mean, that's marketing in its best.
I mean, it technically did mean something.
Yeah, it did.
Tampa Bay loses
Get
that
it?
game. Now Carolina has the division.
And they play Carolina next week.
Yeah.
See, you guys drank the Kool-Aid too.
Well, no,
That game was ugly, dude. That game was terrible.
That's always bothered me, like how like talking about LeBron James's free agency like 2 years before he's a free agent. Like that always blew me away.
It's so stupid. And you know why? It's because the games happen too fast where people aren't watching them and they're not talking about them. That's why I loved yesterday, because there was a little bit of build up to the game. The lines came up, earlier than 8 hours before tip. And we could actually, I could actually listen to podcasts and content breaking down matchups. We knew that everybody was going to play.
Was it just me, though, or were they just completely overshadowed by football being on the same day?
Not for me, but I'm such a bad thing of this because I'm like, I'm not watching Broncos Rams. Like, okay, I have 2 TVs.
I'm just saying from like an advertising perspective. I didn't see much.
It probably did. I'm curious.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that the NFL has. They make every game mean something. It's the fantasy playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. So even if you don't care about Broncos and Rams, someone's got Jerry Jeudy, or maybe you added Ben Skowronek or Cam Akers, right? Or they just make everything mean more because they're not just jamming it down your throat.
Yeah, and I know it was nice having sports all weekend, but an entire NFL slate into Christmas Eve parties, wake up early Christmas morning, deal with all that, and then have NBA games to watch. I had no energy left for it.
That was why I went hiking for a little while. I was like, dude, I can't sit in my house and watch sports all day again. I got to get a little bit of sunshine. Tyler, you would have loved it. I went about halfway to Tahoe, so I was out of the Sacramento fog. 55 degrees outside. Got a little sun on my skin.
What was it?
It was 55 degrees while I was walking around.
Well, it's 20 degrees here, and it probably feels warm outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait till we talk about the weather on Pittsburgh and Saturday night on Talking Touchdowns. JC, we kind of got off track here. We got off track. Tyler, you were talking about the Rockets and the Bulls, and I think we started talking about James Harden, and that's when we got lost. Break down the Rockets and the Bulls, if that's where we were. Tyler?
I already gave my breakdown on the Rockets. It was the Vucevic double-double and the Jalen Green props.
Break this one down, JC.
I did. Yeah, I said I'm rolling with Tyler's plays, and but I'd lean Bulls.
A little bit of eggnog too here from you.
Sorry, Spur, I messed you all up with the James Harden talk.
No, I mean it's just it pissed me off. Like we're really not previewing the games. Like we can't show what type of defenses they run or offensive set a certain team likes to use. I mean there is strategy.
There are also so many games. Like if you're trying to make Christmas a day where every game is awesome, way too many.
They should just go down to 4. Just get rid of that night game.
Yeah.
I'm also fully about clearing that day preseason, not having a single game scheduled on Christmas. And as you get closer, it's all right, you're playing on Christmas, you're playing on Christmas, you're playing on Christmas. Because you could align that schedule.
I think it's such a big day though with the arena workers and
having to work in the NBA. I can tell you that
I agree too, but it's
working for the Clippers, it was awesome knowing I would never be
you got out there, but we know what you're saying.
But yeah, just think about that. If they looked at the schedule and they're like, hey, this Brooklyn-Cleveland game, it's playing a day after Christmas, would fit perfectly on the Christmas slate. Let's drop that back in. You could have did that. You could have got a team like the Pelicans on Christmas who's a 1 seed. You could have had some other things going there. You could have got the Pelicans plugged in for the Lakers who just look bad right now. But, I mean, I guess, making the schedule preseason is where it kind of hurts you there. You can't really drop them in.
It's brutal for the people that aren't NBA players that it really affects. But I like the idea and as a concept.
I think we lost spread.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so I'll take over from here.
Love it. Let's keep rolling.
All right, cool. We'll jump right into the Utah game. Utah's favored by 4.5. Totals 236. Kelly Olynyk's the only guy out. Who you like in this game, JC?
I would lean Utah. I mean, short because they're home, right?
Yeah, no, San Antonio's the home team. Jazz are on the road.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense why it's a 4-point spread. I would still lean Utah. I mean, I know San Antonio's had a couple nice wins of late, but they're a team I will never wager on. Maybe a fade spot here, but obviously if I'm giving a pick, it's got to be Utah.
Sorry about that. I'm still a little bit sick.
We thought we lost you.
No, I might have to jump in and jump back out though, because now my camera doesn't work. I'll be right back.
Gotcha. But yeah, as for me on the Utah Spurs game, I'm going to be on that Keldon Johnson PRA at 29.5. I mean, that number's just hung around right there all season. At the beginning, he couldn't make shots. Now he makes shots. He's one of their main guys. He could easily get that number. As for the side, too, give me the Jazz at the short number. I mean, Conley's playing. The Spurs team's basically in the tank. Markkanen should be able to eat this team up. His 25-plus points and win at plus 205, 4+ threes and win plus 210 would be 2 performance doubles I also like in this one. But, yeah, I think the Jazz pretty much roll this team here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting game for me. I hated this game because, Tyler, my projections told me to take the Spurs.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I must be doing something wrong. Like, seriously, that's like a pick that, like, okay, let me, like, redo all this stuff. My guess is because the Jazz haven't been excellent over the last 10 games. And the Spurs have been all right at home. But we're going to have to go in there and manually adjust that because that doesn't seem right to me. Total 236 here. Did you guys talk about that already? I had it a little lower, but I'm scared to take unders.
Yeah.
What's Bosley? Is that hair?
It's Bosley. Yeah, the hair treatments.
Unbelievable. We can't be in the holiday spirit. Unbelievable. Wow. Throw some coal in my stocking, Nate. Unbelievable. What do you guys think, guys? I have a edge to the under, but I don't want to play an under right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead. You were already halfway into that breakdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's way too many points for two teams. Like, yeah, they can score, but they're not the teams you think of that are going to put up like 120 each. Yeah, I'll take a peek at that under. No way, though, am I taking the over.
I'm on the same page as him. He pretty much took every word out of my mouth right there. I bet the under, but can't click the button.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Indiana Pacers Pelicans?
I mean, judging by this injury report, you can.
The lines moved a lot. We're going to have to redo the playbook, Tyler, because it was -6 this morning. But that was because Zion Williamson was in the game. Now he's doubtful. Larry Nance is questionable. Trey Murphy, who's a big deal now, questionable. Herb Jones out. Brandon Ingram out. Dyson Daniels questionable. Who's running this team? The Miami Heat. Daniel Theis is out for Indiana. I don't think he's playing forever. Jalen Smith is questionable, and Aaron Nesmith is questionable for Indiana. So, boy, a lot of the key pieces here on New Orleans are going to be out. Makes me kind of like Indiana, but boy, it would have been nice to have bet that earlier.
Yeah, for sure. What is Zion still out with illness, or did he get something else?
He's doubtful with conditioning. They're just bringing him back in. I don't. The thing that worries me about that tag the most is, just to bring up an instance, it's a completely different team, but the last 3 times we've capped an OKC game, we've pulled up this basketball monster, looked at it. One game, SGA and Giddey both had red tags is out. One of them played that night. The next game rolled around. SGA's not on the injury report. Giddey still is. We bet against them thinking Giddey's not going to be there. That red tag becomes green. He's in the game. They win. This doubtful tag on Zion for conditioning, I don't think it's going to work. I think he shows up tonight.
Oh, wow. So if that's the case, okay. Let's just say he does, because I think that makes it a real interesting discussion, Tyler.
Yeah.
We're still missing Herb Jones, who's really big to this team. With just Zion, do they have enough to I guess it's only 2.5, so it's pretty much pick the winner. It's so crazy that 2.5 goes to -150. They must be really protecting on these NBA money lines here. But if Zion plays,
odds don't you spread?
I just think it should correlate to -130 or something. I mean, -150 for 2.5
you're right.
points.
He's a bucket. It's a score.
Yeah. So actually, I'll ask you first, JC. If Zion plays, but Herb Jones and the rest of these guys are still out, do we still like the Pelicans?
Man, I don't know. Like Halliburton is so hot, so like hearing Zion was out, I'm all over Indiana. But if he plays, and then the concern too, right? If he do we know if he was out with COVID or was it just illness? Was all we got?
It was COVID protocols. I don't know if he
Okay.
was actually
Yeah,
sick.
it was. It was COVID. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing, right? I mean, like you have COVID, like you're not feeling 100% even once you're testing negative. So I don't know what his minutes will look like. I also don't know what COVID looks like on a professional athlete. So I might just be talking out of my ass here.
It's so random. Some of them
Yeah.
said they didn't even felt it and they tested positive and they didn't even know they had anything. And other guys said that 3 months later they still felt the effects of it.
And conditioning could just be, Zion's a big boy. He just had a little too hard Christmas, and it's kind of lost a step.
Were you partying with Zion last night, JC? Is that how you know these things?
You know what? My wife went to Duke. He went to Duke. There's just a kinship with guys like that. Part of the circle. I'd probably still just roll with Indiana. I'm going to go with the information I have. I may wait. I would probably wait to place that wager closer to tip, see if we can get that Zion news. But I still, man, Indiana's hot right now. Give me Indiana.
All right, Tyler. JC's picking against one of your favorite teams in the NBA. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll probably be on him. I'll probably be on Indiana here if those guys all don't play. But there's no chance I can click a button yet in this game because I just think the injury news. Like, how far does this number move if Zion's rolled in, Nance is rolled in, Trey Murphy's rolled in? To back up to 4?
No,
probably
it's 6.5.
You think it goes all the way back up to 6.5?
Yes. New Orleans Pelicans are one of the best teams in the NBA. Indiana's a cool story, but they're a cool story because we expected them to win 19 games. Do you see my point? I mean, like, Indiana's like doing better than we expected, but they're not that good.
But doesn't a team like us always do this every year? We sit here, we're like, they're not good, and then come playoff time, they're in a playoff series.
They would get smoked in the first round by
yeah,
18.
they probably get smoked, but you put together the record to get there, you can get there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Give me the under, though, with all these guys out.
Yeah, if all the guys are out, I agree there. Give me the under. Because the guys that are coming in for the Pelicans bench play more defense than offense. And the one guy that was going to come in and shoot the ball a ton was Trey Murphy. And if he ain't there, I'm not trusting Najee Marshall, Kiara Lewis, and all these guys.
How chalk is CJ McCollum going to be as Zion sits?
Be chalk. Like, he is the piece of chalk spread. Like, when you look up the
God.
definition of chalk, he pops up tonight.
Dude,
I know we're not the experts there, Tyler, and we just talk to those guys and we use their cores and we use the information, but we still do pretty good. Like, I've won, I think, 3 or 4 of my last NBA.
He might not even
entries.
be the chalk with all the Miami guys out.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll wait to see that show, but I'm just wondering. I think that's one of the biggest. It's like we had this conversation all the time. It's almost like NBA fatigue. Does it favor overs or unders? Because does it favor overs because I'm tired and I just let you drive right by me and take a layup, or does it favor unders because you're tired and I give you a wide open shot and you just miss because you have no legs, and there's no ever set, it'll trend one way, trend another way. But I always, fading that good chalk, right? I always wonder, and we're talking in GPP formats. I think it's a fun conversation to just keep having over and over again. Anything more on the Pacers and the Pelicans?
No, that's pretty much it for me. I can't bet this game without the news.
Hey, Travis will be happy. Wait for the news. Oh, and if you guys want to hear happy, first we had to do a 14-game slate with Travis on Friday. I mean, that was amazing that we're still not live doing that show. Tyler, did you see tomorrow's slate for Travis?
Oh, God.
Just a 10-game slate.
I thought you were
We're earning our money this week, buddy.
I thought for sure you were going to tell me we got every team playing tomorrow.
Pretty close. A 10-game slate. That's on a Tuesday night, right? Usually Tuesday's what? 4 to 5 games, which is why
that's why we
bring
run
Travis on and we can go more into game theory.
This entire week just Sunday. Oh, finally they were like, hey, maybe, just maybe, no one's watching basketball when football is being played. Let's put 3 games on Sunday. Nothing's worse than I'm trying to get all my NFL stuff done Sunday morning. It's like, hey, by the way, there's 7 NBA games we got to talk about.
Yeah, I stopped texting you on Sunday morning about NBA. You're just like, I'm balls deep in NFL. Talk to me later. Okay,
like,
Tyler.
Like, anyways, footballs are kicked
Bulls
off.
RPB.
Right?
Here we go. A true Yinzer to the heart. All right, Charlotte Hornets, Portland Trailblazers. Portland Trailblazers are -5.5. Total of 237 here. JC, I think this is an interesting travel situation, right? Because Charlotte just played the Clippers run, right?
Both Lakers. They did both.
So they've been in LA for like what, 5 days? 4 days?
Presumably. I don't know what do you go home for Christmas? I don't really know what that looks like.
I was thinking, I don't think, well, first of all, how many guys are from LA? Like, I know LaMelo's like,
that's true.
great for him, right? Oh,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I'm in LA with my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of NBA players come out of LA, right? I mean, LA
Yeah.
is just an NBA factory. So I can imagine for half those guys that they were home for Christmas. But extended road trip over a holiday. I was thinking, you working with the team, you might have more experience. Is this an upgrade or a downgrade there when these guys are on these extended road trips over the holidays?
Hey, I sold tickets. I wasn't a trainer, spread. I don't have that kind
Bro,
of.
you were kicking it with Pat Bev.
I do. I have a lot of love for Pat Bev, but we're not homies or anything like that.
Well, just because he pushed you over that one time during the pickup game, but
I don't know. It's a really good point. Yeah, I have no idea would be the short answer for you, but I'll tell you what, man. I love this Hornets team when LaMelo Ball is playing.
I figured you would. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to be opposite on this one. I can already tell.
He's a stud. It's a 6-point spread. He was home, so who cares about the rest of the team? He'll be ready to ball.
It's a team game, JC.
Really?
Look at LeBron with no teammates.
Because KD's been cooking in Brooklyn all year with very little help. But no doubt. Points here. Hornets cover, and I like LaMelo over 23.5 points.
Okay, so you like LaMelo to go off. You like the Hornets to cover. I'm on the opposite side, Tyler. Give me the Portland Trailblazers at home. I think Portland's a really tough place to play. It's at the end of a long road trip. I want, just like those guys in Miami. LA's pretty nice this time of year, right? Might be out enjoying some stuff. Then you head up to Portland. Great home court advantage there for the Blazers. I like the Blazers here, but JC will like this one. I do like the over. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the Blazers. I mean, even though they were home, LaMelo gets to see his family. He's posting pictures on Instagram looking like the local drug dealer. Them guys were out all night just partying. He knows all the spots in LA. He just dragged the team around. He's like, let's go here. Let's go there. Yeah. This guy's open. That guy's open. This team ain't going to be ready to play, I don't think. I got to take Portland here. I think the backcourt for Portland's way better than Charlotte. Even with LaMelo back, I still think both those guys in Portland are better than him. Lillard, 30-plus and win, 5+ threes and win. Simons, 24+ points and win, and 5+ threes and win. I just see this backcourt lighting this team up, and they win it pretty easily.
JC, rank the top, the backcourt. LaMelo, Simons, Lillard. In what order do you put them?
I'm right now,
just for one game.
It's got to be Lillard. I mean, Lillard's one, then Ball. I think Ball has an incredible ceiling, but he's obviously got, some development to do. But he's going to be a force in this game in the years to come.
All right.
I'm not going to argue that one bit.
Anything more from this game before we move on?
I got a great play, but I'll save it for best bets.
Okay.
I do have one other performance double I kind of like in this one, just because centers dominate this team. Nurkic to get a double and win plus 160. He should be able to get in there. That's just the 10 points I'm worried about. If those guards are just flinging threes and hitting everything, he might not get those 10 points.
He might get that through offensive rebounds, though. JC, I'm having PTSD flashbacks, man. Did this happen last Monday? When I talked down on the Hornets team?
You know what, though?
They broke my heart and stole my beam.
You seem to have learned a lesson, though, because you are far less emphatic about the Trailblazers.
You were so confident last Monday, there was no chance you could win.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, we have a beam. It's like a lightsaber. Anyways.
I can't wait. Well, I'm not going to say that.
Go ahead.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's hear it, Tyler.
No, I was going to say that beam's going to fucking knock a plane out of the sky one day, and they're going to be like, get that thing down.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. All right. It's time for the best bets. What's your best bet today? Side, total, or prop? Start with you, JC.
Give me LaMelo Ball, 4+ threes, paying out at even money. He's hit 4 threes or more every game this month since returning from injury. Easy play. If you feel so inclined, maybe parlay that with some Charlotte plus 5.5.
All right, chat. Let's make a deal. You hit the thumbs up. Tyler gives you his best bet. Tyler, what do you got?
I'm going to roll with that Vucevic double-double and win for the Bulls over the Rockets.
I love that.
I just think there's nobody in the front court that can stop him. He should easily get to the 10 points, easily get to the 10 rebounds, and they should be able to win that game pretty easily. And you're getting plus 130 on that instead of laying the 6 points. So, like that a lot.
Yeah, I like his just over on his point prop total, too. I mean, it's just the best matchup there going. Who's a better matchup to target centers, Rockets or Hornets? I mean, it's like 29th and 30th in defending centers, right?
They might be tied 30th.
Yeah, yeah. Unbelievable there. I'm going head-to-head with JC again. Let's see. He said I learned my lesson, but no. I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. I want to get him back. I'm taking the Portland Trailblazers minus 5.5 tonight. I'm going against JC's favorite player. It's so funny. Can there be two more opposite players than LaMelo Ball and Pat Bev? I mean, one guy's just a dog on defense. He has so much heart. And the other guy, like, has never seen a defensive stance. I wonder if he could even teach it to, like, a 10-year-old.
Yeah, but they're both cocky SOBs.
All right. Well, you got it there. So I'm going to go head-to-head with you again. There's no beam on the line this time, but it just makes the show more fun. So
3 weeks in a row now.
See if you can get me again. This hasn't gone well for me, but we'll see. I'm confident. I'm trying to turn things around. So that's it for us. Did you guys have anything else?
That was it for me.
All right, then JC, give us the words of wisdom before we sign off. You knew we were coming to you. We do this every week.
I know, man. I know, but I'm coming in here.
My man just woke up, spread. Yeah, you just put him right on the spot.
Long night. Just be safe, everyone. It's cold. You know what? Words of wisdom. Keep that hot water running so your pipes don't freeze.
All right. No pipes freeze.
Very, very good words of wisdom.
Dargo household. All right, guys. We'll be back in 1 minute with Talking Touchdowns here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. Give us that thumbs up and run pure.